Now, just as we saw in the run-up to the Iraq War, the big spenders and the big war advocates in Congress are demanding unanimity. They want no debate, despite the hundreds of billions of dollars that will fly out the door.
The House of Representatives should take up this national security package and humanitarian relief package immediately, in totality, and without delay. The time for partisanship is over. It's time to get back to doing the business of the American people.
Clapping for Raytheon. Joining me now, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, author of the new book, Deception, the Great COVID Cover-Up. We'll get to that in a moment. Senator, now you saw the House Republicans stay seated when he called for this immediate passage of the $100+ billion in aid to Israel and Ukraine. But does that really give you any hope for fiscal sanity on the Hill?
Well, you know, the big government Republicans in the Senate have already joined hands with the Democrats over here, and they want $100 billion to everyone. Just put everything into one bill. We'll borrow it from China and we'll send it out. But if you listen to the speaker's speech today, which I thought was great, the new speaker said that the first bill coming to the floor will be, it sounded like to me, funding just for Israel by itself, which is what many of the conservatives on the Senate side have been advocating for, and separating out Ukraine and Taiwan and all this other stuff. So I think actually the speaker has unilaterally put the kibosh on the big government sort of wastebasket approach of dumping in another $60 billion for Ukraine. So I think actually it's going to stop. I also don't think the new speaker, if he's clever enough to have gotten elected out of that mess, I don't think he's going to put $60 billion for Ukraine, which he has 100 members that are opposed to that vast amount. I don't think he's going to put that on the floor. So I suspect he'll do what he said, put a single individual bill for Israel. And this, the people who are advocating for unlimited funds for Ukraine will be put back by this because they'll have to start again.
I mean, we don't have any money. I mean, people forget we have to borrow the money or print the money because we don't have the money. And Mitch McConnell, Senator, and the rest of the leadership over in the Senate, they had lunch with Condoleezza Rice yesterday from the Bush administration, and they walked away with a firm commitment to all of these projects that being connected together. Watch.
Speaking for myself, I do think it needs to be comprehensive. I think it needs to deal with all of these because they're all interrelated. I mean, what we have now is an axis of evil: China, Russia, and Iran.
We're back to the axis of evil. Do you agree they're all related? Ukraine, Israel, border, U.S. border, gets a pittance?
No, but I would say they're only related in the sense that they'll bankrupt our country and sending money everywhere, all over the planet. And it is probably the greatest threat to our national security. If that's what we're thinking we're supposed to do, is protect our national security, the greatest threat to it is the national debt. We borrowed $1 trillion in the last 3 months. It is out of control, the spending, crazy. And we are threatening the very existence of our currency and perhaps our country by this crazy profligate spending.
No, the interest on the debt is more than the Pentagon's budget. And Senator, on your book, we find out now that only 3% of the American people want to buy into this latest booster, this latest COVID booster. Finally, we see people seeing the light about what's been going on here.
Yeah, we talk about that in the book Deception, because what happened is the CDC scientists and the FDA scientists all agreed that the booster should only be for those at risk over 65. A Biden political appointee, Rochelle Walensky, came forward and said, oh, no, let's give it to babies starting at 6 months. Nobody in the rest of the world does that. And if you look at the risk versus the benefits, there are risks from the vaccine for children, and there are virtually no benefits because healthy kids, we now have seen the statistics, virtually no healthy kids, and it may be the number 0, no healthy kids died from COVID. So your kid doesn't need to be vaccinated for this.
Yeah, well, at least Pfizer got rich. Senator, thank you.